Hi team, this is a quick video to talk about how we can set up reverse proxy for a small group of users. Usually when we are talking to customers or prospects about reverse proxy, they think it is not possible to test this method without impacting the whole production environment, as in they would have to go with all the users they have instead of just picking upon a small group. So today I will show you how I address this requirement using Okta as my IDP and Confluence as my SaaS application. So the main steps are outlined over here. First thing you would do is basically establish an SSO connection between your IDP and your SaaS app. Then configure the SaaS app within the reverse proxy of settings of your Netskope tenant, override the ACS URL to complete the reverse proxy setup, and from there, what you do is within the Okta tenant, as an administrator, you would introduce a custom attribute within the SaaS application, Confluence in my case. And using that specific custom attribute, we can then enable SAML assertion key value pair matching to then isolate that specific group of users for the POC. Now, I'm logged into my Okta as an administrator under within my dashboard. I've got my applications, right? So the only application I'm running at the moment is Atlassian Cloud. This is used for your Confluence and Jira as well. Under sign on tab, you've got your instructions to actually set up and complete your SSO. So what you do is once you add this application in, you follow these steps to enable your SSO and complete the SAML process with your Confluence app. Once that is done, the next thing you would do is then start using the reverse proxy integration guide. And what that does is there are a couple of steps within this guide to actually go through to enable your SaaS application within the reverse proxy settings. It's a very easy, straightforward, step-by-step guide to complete the process. Now, once that is done, you have got your full reverse proxy set up. Now, the way we introduce a custom attribute is, again, under the sign-on settings, you go under the attributes, and actually I'll just go in edit mode. In this edit mode, you can add more attributes if you want to, but I'm just using one. So what it shows is it's just a name. The only significance it has, it's a key value pair. It is not similar to a directory group as such. It's more about, it's just a name and a value against that is user.group, right? So once we do that, the next thing we would need to do is assign that specific attribute to the users that we need to add in for the POC. For example, I've got like 4 different users in here which are assigned to this app, but if I want to isolate one of them, what I'll do is I will go to the profile for that, go into edit mode. Now you will see this value as one of the attributes when the SAML authentication happens. First name, surname also comes up, and the 4th one that we are interested in is this specific one, like the group, which we added manually. So I'll just name it as admin. Once that is done, I will go in and show you what it actually looks like when the SAML authentication takes place. I'm just going to enable my SAML tracer and try to log in as just a user, right? So once I click on that Confluence link, SAML authentication takes place. It's going through reverse proxy at the moment, as you can see over here. And I will pause the SAML tracer, go back up. And one thing that I'm interested in is just this post link to this specific URL. And within that link, you can see the summary, where I've got my username or identity as my email address. My first name, last name is there, and the 4th one is group equal to admin, which is important for us because the next step that I will do is use this attribute within my Netskope tenant to actually isolate and bypass this specific user from my reverse proxy setup. So within my Netskope tenant, I have to go into my settings under security cloud platform. Then I will go into my SAML reverse proxy setup for Confluence. So this is, again, follow the guide to complete the setup. Once everything is up and running, I'll go into my options tab, enable SAML assertion key value pairing, and I will just add in, that's the key, and the value is admin. because that's the name I've given in. And I will bypass this user or any user that is matching this specific key value pair. If I save this and then go back into my Confluence, I have to actually log out of it to actually clear the session. And once I log back in, keeping in mind my client is still disabled, so I'm not using anything. You will notice that it will initially go to Netskope, but then it will directly go out to Atlassian, because reverse proxy policy is saying just bypass this specific user. And there you go. That's how easy it is to actually bypass the user, or basically do the other way around and select a specific one. So this way, if you've got like 10 or 15 users, you can add that attribute in and enable that SAML assertion key value pairing, and it will just cater for that requirement. Hope that is helpful for you. Thank you for watching.